Well, it'd be very
Order.
convenient to put it to a vote
Order.
because there isn't the numbers in the chamber for it to pass, and that would get you off the hook since you haven't made clear to the public where you stand on this issue. I don't know why you keep landing yourselves in it. But you're not on the record.
Order. Interjections are out of order, and you're not supposed to respond to interjections. Just continue.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now, I'll acknowledge with the current outlook there's a slim chance the Liberals will get government anytime soon, but still it would be helpful to know where the Liberals stand on the issue just in case. Concerningly, the Liberals, after all the toing and froing in the chamber and squawks about not enough detail, finally settled the no for now vote, while simultaneously shooting down my amendment to limit the number of committees the Voice could establish. The message seems clear, Mr. President. It seems the Liberals' position is, if we're going to have a state voice, let it be as big as possible. Now, to be fair, Mr. President, the Liberals are completely committed to assessing the state voice over the next couple of years, and then completely committed to, well, not much, which is another problem plaguing the Liberals. With regards to water trading, I say to the honourable member, when we are on the same floor, same corridor, it's embarrassing and unacceptable to not check my water trading policies before seeking a cheap newspaper headline in a local paper based on fiction. It's a shame the Liberal Party couldn't simply support my bill on politicians' water ownership like all the other members in this place did. Instead, they used social media to take petty swipes and tried to piggyback on the idea while slandering me in the Murray Pioneer. Get your headline on your own ideas. I encourage the opposition to put their heads together and they will come up with something. Mr. President, it is important to be balanced here, so let's be clear. Despite not one single Liberal member in this place accepting an invitation to my International Men's Day last year, one must acknowledge the Liberals do support women at least, especially women out there trying to make a difference. The Honourable David Speers made this clear recently with his news address on the Dunstan by-election when he said, "How about the Premier of South Australia pull Tom Kusintonis into line and say, no, we support women in public life and we are not going to have this bully-like behaviour perpetuated by their side of politics because, quite frankly, I'm sick of it, my team is sick of it, South Australians are sick of it and the people of Dunstan are sick of it." If only the Honourable Leader of the Opposition of the Upper House had gotten the memo before her Sky News appearance and email to the Murray Pioneer. Mr. President, the Liberal Party are working hard, despite only having 2 Liberal women in the lower house, to counter the perception that they were once a party that had a long-standing problem with women. Mr. President, the Liberals say they support women, lift them up, unless, of course, you happen to be a One Nation woman capable of coming up with ideas supported by the public, ideas for legislation demanding politicians declare their water ownership, ministers declare their travel expenses, and repealing the state voice nobody wants unless you're a bureaucrat, Mr. President. These types of proactive actions by a woman, Mr. President, will find you as the Liberals' #1 target. Let's not forget the time the Liberals thought twice about putting my minister's travel bill to the lower house. We only need to look at the Hansard to see the lack of jubilation the day it passed both houses. Forget the public and their need for scrutiny with public spending. If the Liberals are upset, the public can wait until the Liberals get their own back. Now, despite all this, Mr. President, I am open to collaborating with the Liberals in this place. It is what the public deserve on issues that should unite us, but I won't be subjugated into it. It may be 1 up against 31, but that won't stop me from standing up for myself, Mr. President, and standing up for the South Australian people. My tips to the Liberals are stop your jollying with the left side of politics, commit to something, get your headlines from your own ideas, not hijacking those from the crossbench, and leave the role of bringing down the Liberals to the Honourable Tom Kusintonis, member for West Torrens. Mr. President, let me be clear. The Liberal Party do not dictate which media outlet I appear in, and they don't decide when I call my bill to a vote. Liberals, if you truly wanted to work together, support the Voice repeal bill petition instead of competing with it. Exactly, another bill you want brought in that's going to crash. Not the interests of the public there.
Order. Order. Interjections are out of order.
Liberals, if you truly want to work together, support the Voice repeal bill petition instead of competing with it. Stop chasing petty political headlines and start chasing your own ideas. I call on you to resist the infighting culture of the Liberal Party and focus on what the people of South Australia want from their representatives. Mr. President, weak opposition parties are bad for any democracy because the governing party will have less incentive to govern the interests of all people. Mr. President, the Liberals sit on the opposition benches, but they are not doing the job of an opposition party. I want the situation to change. Our democracy, our freedoms, our prosperity and justice for all depends on the Liberals stepping up and doing the job they're elected to do. Mr. President, when the opposition give their attention to undermining one nation, they misunderstand their role and they miss the opportunities that come with being in opposition and working with one nation on common interests. I say to the Liberals, constant infighting is political death. I call on the opposition to show voters what an alternate government might look like. There is no other greater pressing issue for our democracy right now.